today I want to introduce to you a concept that I call the truth wall. It's huge. It's huge in this piece right here of changing the way that we think. Do you think it's fair enough if I say that for however old you are, you have spent that much time developing the ways that you perceive life? Coming up with your conclusions because this happened to you, it shifted the way that you look at life, and so this is a conclusion that you have. Because of this negative thing, because of this positive thing, because of this consistent thing that you have had in your life, it has formed the way that you think. Is that fair enough for me to say? All right?
Or it's completely changed the way that you think.
Okay, very good. Yeah, it has formed, it has shaped.
Yeah.
Somehow it has shaped the way that you think. And now all of a sudden, we want to step into new areas and experience new things in our life. However, we've got a brain that has been formed and shaped a certain way. And so the very first thing that people consider when they want to grow, here I am with my circles again, is we fear change because we don't know what's out here. I've spent a lot of time developing this mindset, and everything in this circle is familiar to me. It all makes sense. I may not be fully happy with it. I might not be fulfilled with it. But when somebody tries to push me into this next circle, I tend to resist it because I don't understand it. I haven't been there before. And there's this tape. You may have heard that phrase before. There's this tape that plays in my head. Don't go there. There's dragons. You know? And for some reason, when we look at this unknown out here, 9.9 people out of 10 will resist making that shift because of the unknown. And because it's unknown, we don't know how to think about it. It causes us to respond emotionally, fear. And over a long period of time, those tapes that we're hearing in our head develop a belief system. Okay? Is that fair enough? Let me tell you, I'll give you an example. Over a long period of time, I don't think this is my parents' fault, okay? I think it's just the way, when I was young, I was trying to reconcile life. And when I was young, this was the capacity that I had. I had some jacked up thinking about money growing up, you know? I grew up, first of all, I grew up in Avan, Oklahoma. Incredibly impoverished town, okay? And then I grew up in a family that ran a nonprofit organization. And we always seemed to be struggling for money to run the business. And so one of the things that I did was I learned really early in life how to ask for money. The way that you get money is you ask for it. We also usually start there. Dad, can I have some money? Mom, can I have some money? We start there, you know. And I think it's okay to start there. But unfortunately, as I grew, I never learned how to get money any other way than asking for it. So I'm in college and I'm going, Dad, can I have some money? And it's like, how many of you guys love asking for money? Ugh. But every time I needed money, I had to ask for it. So it kind of made me feel bad. So I developed this negative thought about money because every time I wanted, I had to ask for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then in a nonprofit organization, you're always doing fundraising, right? We need money, so we're going to ask you people to give. But people never gave enough. So again, in my great wisdom at 12, 13 years old, my great wisdom, I developed this idea that the reason why we don't have money, because rich people are stingy. People that have money are unwilling to give it. They're selfish. They don't recognize good stuff. They just want to keep it all themselves. They're stingy. They're greedy. See, again, I don't think anybody taught me this. I think it was just my own immature brain coming to conclusions. So over a long period of time, I developed this strong belief system around money, that money was something I would never have. Money was something that I could never manage. But again, who wants to walk around with those two negative things? So I reconciled it with, I don't need money to be happy. I can do everything I want to do without making very much money. Yeah, good luck with that one, you know. And rich people, stingy, greedy. Wealthy people, successful people are unhappy. These are all ideas that I had. 4 years ago now, I went to a money mindset workshop down in Dallas. 3 days, 10 hours a day, stuck in a room with like 400 other people, just getting hammered on new ways of thinking about money. I mean, emotional, tapped into all kinds of freak out mode for me. I got snot and tears all over the place. I mean, it was just an emotional, wrenching experience because for the first time, I was really quantifying how jacked up I was on my thinking of money. And at this point, I had just started my new company. What did I want to become? A wealthy, successful businessman. What was my belief system? Wealthy, successful businessmen are greedy. They're stingy. They don't think of other people. They're unhappy. I was actually trying to become somebody that I hated. Good luck with that. Yeah. So I had to change a belief system that would free me up to be able to do the things that I needed to do to become a wealthy, successful businessman. But if I hadn't dealt with that belief system and all of those negative tapes, Clay, you'll never be able to do that. Clay, you're stupid. Clay, you can't handle money. Clay, you're poor. Clay, remember, it's more, what is the word? It's more noble to be poor. I mean, you do all kinds of stuff to reconcile it. I developed, did any of those mindsets make sense to you? Yeah. Any of those connect? Because I find that when I bring those things up, so, yeah, I've been thinking that too. You know, just some jacked up thinking about money. I had to learn how to do that to set me free to be able to move forward. I wanted to become something out here, but my mindset would have never have allowed me to do it. My coach was saying, Clay, do this, do this, do this, and Clay, you can charge this much. And I'm going, that's never going to work. No one will ever pay me $25 because I just developed this, this impoverished thinking. Fair enough? Yeah. So I contend that every single one of us have this person out here using this circle that we've talked about. That's like the ultimate you. But as we have grown up, life circumstances, because of our limited ability to process info, throw in a little bit of pain, throw in a little bit of disappointment, throw in a little bit of, oh, I thought that was going to happen, but it didn't. All this kind of stuff. Throw in a controlling parent, throw in some really mean friends and stuff like that. The next thing you know, we've got some jacked up thinking, and we're stuck in a circle down here, and we're wondering why life isn't getting better. How come I can't find that job? How come I can't step into that new place? Susie's doing it. How come I can't? Does that make sense? Okay? So, moving to this ultimate person is going to require, as we've talked about, expanding your mind. And I promise, as you expand your mind, you're going to run up into some serious, long-held beliefs. And new mindsets are going to challenge those beliefs. And if you're not careful, Amanda, you'll sit over here and say, yeah, I hear what Clay's saying, but he doesn't really understand my situation. Your belief system is keeping you from being able to receive. Does that make sense? Yeah, that never worked for me. Yeah, I tried that once. It didn't work. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's probably good for those people, but for me, I've tried it several times. It didn't work. So, you know, I'm different. It's nice to say, it feels kind of good, but at the end of the day, I'm still broke, still not experiencing the fulfillment that I'm looking for. So, what am I going to do? This is, for me, it took me 37 years to finally go, and actually I'll go ahead to 45 years before I actually went, okay, I don't know things. Help me. Help me. 37, I started entertaining the idea of maybe I need to get a mentor. All right? But it was actually at 45 to 47 that I finally raised my hand and said, I don't know anything. Teach me how to do this. Tell me what to do and I'll do it. Okay, you need to do this. Oh, are you kidding? I don't think it works that way. Belief system. But immediately I had to go, you're right. I'm going to do it. Because you're telling me to do it. Oh, that was so hard for me, Jim. I'm doing it because you're telling me to do it. Dad issues, started coming up and all that kind of stuff. Is that fair enough to say?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of where we start out here. Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in larger ones either. Up at the top of page 17, the mind is everything. What you think about is what you become. So, these thoughts over here, I promise you, it is the way you are perceiving and thinking about yourself and about your future, the possibilities of your future, that have developed into a belief wall that is keeping you from stepping into the fulfillment of your dreams. Okay?